Howdy folks, today I got something that I've never had before, and it's supposed to be crazy, Malort. Now I made a video a couple weeks ago about Besk. I sort of half-jokingly suggested that Anders send me a bottle of Malort. Well, guess what? He did it! He did not have to do that. So thank you very much, Anders. I really appreciate it. It's like a dream come true. And it came on Christmas Eve. It's like a miracle. So anyway, I'm sure you've seen Anders' channel. He's probably 200 times more popular than me. But go check it out anyway. Great dude. I love it. Now, Malort. Malort means wormwood in Swedish. And Malort is basically a wormwood liqueur. And I'm not even sure there's any other ingredients in Jeppson's Malort. It might just be wormwood. I couldn't find any information about any other ingredients. But I do know that it is 35% alcohol, and it has a terrible reputation. Or should I say, an incredible reputation for being terrible. Now when I tried the Besk a few weeks ago, I actually thought it was pretty good. And the thing about Jeppson's, I think, is that it's just sort of a lower quality version of a similar product. It has less flavor going on. So I got this bottle on Christmas Eve, as I mentioned. I did have the forethought to record my first tastes of it. So we can go to Past Me and see what he has to say. All right, it's me from the past. We've got our Malort. I'm just gonna open it up and see what we think. Let's give it a chance. It doesn't smell bad. It's like a licorice. It is bitter. It's not insanely bitter. It's lingering. It's a back of the palate bitterness. Honestly, I don't know what the fuss is about. It's pretty good. Pretty bitter, licoricey, juniper-y liqueur. Let's see what Auntie Susan thinks.
I mean, I don't like it. It doesn't taste like a lot, actually. It's bitter. Yeah, I guess there's a juniper-y sort of astringency, but that's really all. It doesn't have a ton of flavor. It's just a sort of bitter thing.
So I was underwhelmed by the terribleness. It's really not that bad. It doesn't have tons of flavor. A little bit of licoricey flavor, but mostly just a bitter aftertaste. But the thing is about Malort is it really kind of sits in your stomach. It kind of stays with you for an hour or two or the rest of the day. So I'm going to make a cocktail because that's what I like to do. I did a little research and I looked around at other Malort-based recipes. I found a couple on some YouTube channels that I really liked and I'd like to tell you about as well. Through the Mixing Glass and Gnome's Tavern. Now they both have some Malort videos that I will link to down below that you can check out. Great channels that you should definitely check out. Lots of great content. I looked around Cocktail Virgin as well to get a sense of what might be good. And my takeaway was that this should be a sour. I'm going to put some extra flavoring in it as well. Malort doesn't have a ton of flavor, but it is super bitter, so I'm just not going to use very much of it. I decided to go with Aquavit to keep with the sort of Scandinavian theme. I'm doing Grapefruit Juice. And for the extra flavor, I'm doing Benedictine and honey syrup for sweetness. Honey and grapefruit go great together, and Benedictine has already got honey in it. Should be a good combo. And just a 1/4 ounce of Malort. Now, before I mix this up, Auntie Susan suggested the name Bitter Tears of Lindisfarne, which I'm going to let her explain.
Lindisfarne is an island off the eastern coast of northern England, off the coast of what was Northumbria in the 7th and 8th centuries. It was home to a very important monastery, and the island today is called the Holy Island. This monastery was one of the preeminent centers of Christianity in northern England for several centuries. Some very important bishops lived and wrote there. Some very important Anglo-Saxon documents were created there. It was a pretty neat place. You may have heard of the Synod of Whitby, or not. But in any case, they were one of the participants in the Synod of Whitby, and they lost. But it was, unfortunately, located on the edge of the North Sea, was full of monastic wealth, and wasn't particularly well protected. So when Norwegian raiders in 1793 decided to come fuck some shit up off the coast of England, Lindisfarne was just right there for the taking, and in fact they sacked it real bad. Killed most of the monks, killed a lot of the other inhabitants, tortured people, completely sacked the place, took all the monastic wealth away, except for the body of St. Cuthbert. Anyway, Lindisfarne, important monastery, sacked by Vikings in 1793 and the most famous Viking raid in history. Pete asks me, what should he call a cocktail that contains Aquavit, Benedictine, and Malort? There was really only one answer. The Bitter Tears of Lindisfarne. Uncle Pete, mix it up.
Bitter Tears of Lindisfarne. Oh yeah, I like this. You get grapefruit right away, and then it moves into those honey and herbal notes, and it's not really till the very end that you get Malort. It is sort of a lingering bitterness. It's what you might expect, but it isn't interfering with the flavors of the drink. Like it isn't a super flavorful thing. It's just a very bitter thing. I think that's a delicious drink. It's not too sweet. It's got a nice balance, and it takes you on a journey, which is what I like about it. I'm having another sip. Yeah, I mean, the Aquavit sort of comes and goes. There's a bit of Aquavit and grapefruit, honey kind of triangle. That's really nice. So we did it. Malort in a cocktail, delicious. I want to thank Anders again for sending me this bottle. I really appreciate it. Thanks to you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.